So we have x minus 5/8 equals negative 3/4. So a couple of things to do. We have to find out what x is. Let's just remind you about solving equations. Just solve this for me. X minus 4 equals 6. What number, subtract 4, gives 6? Just tell me what the answer to that should be. Should be 10. Good job. It should be that. Because 10 minus 4 is 6. Now, what's the trick when we kind of solve this with our trick of adding or subtracting to both sides? What do we do? Like we could add 4 to both sides here, couldn't we? Right. And negative 4 plus 4 would make 0. So you get x equals, and 6 plus 4 is 10. All right. So that's the same process. So what should we do here to get the x by itself? You've got negative 5/8 being subtracted. So how do you get the x on its own? Just like we did over here. Well, now we got to add something. Because remember over here it was negative 4 plus 4. See, negative 4 plus 4 makes 0, doesn't it? So if you've got a negative 5/8, you're going to have to add 5/8. Because what's negative 5/8 plus 5/8? Negative 5/8 plus 5/8 equals? It's 0. It's kind of like, what's negative 3 plus 3? Yep. What's negative apple plus apple? 0 apples, which is 0. 0 apples is 0. What's negative a half plus 1/2? 0. What's negative a quarter plus a quarter? Yep. How about negative 27/19 plus 27/19? What's that? Good. How about negative xyz plus xyz? What's that? Right. How about negative elephant plus elephant? What's that? 0 elephants, which is? You got it. And that is called adding like terms. Or adding opposites. Give me another silly adding opposite you can think of. Yep, negative 45 plus 45. Good. Yep. Or negative Bart Simpson plus Bart Simpson, 0, right? So negative 5/8 plus 5/8 is just 0, right? And so we get x over here. Does that make 0, right? Now we added 5/8 to the left, so we must add 5/8 to the right. And now we're adding fractions. We've got a negative 3/4 and we're adding 5/8. So we must make the bottoms the same, but they're not the same because you got quarters here and you got 8s over here. So how do we make the bottoms the same? Like, what's the lowest common denominator, right? So you got to think about multiples of 4 and multiples of 8. What number does 4 go into and 8 also goes into? Right. So what's the lowest common denominator for 4 and 8? Yeah, 16. But it's also 8, because like 8 goes into 8 and 4 goes into 8, doesn't it? That make sense? Yeah, we could use 16 if you wanted to, or you could multiply them. 4 times 8 is like 32. You could use 30 seconds. But it's easiest to use 8s. And this is already 8. It's just plus 5/8. So nothing to do there. But this one, we got to change the quarters into 8s. How do we do that? Yep, times it by 2 over 2. Yeah, so you got negative 3/4 times 2 over 2 gives what? Right, negative 6 over 8. Right, negative 6/8. So good, we've got a common denominator. Negative 6/8 plus 5/8. So what's negative 6/8 plus 5/8? And just to make that simpler, let me ask you this. What's negative 6 plus 5? It is. It's negative 1. 6 bad guys and 5 good guys is 1 bad guy, isn't it? So negative 6/8 plus 5/8 gives what? Negative 1/8. That's the correct answer. You got it. And I'm going to check this for fun. Right? Check. Because it was x minus 5/8 equals negative 3/4. Right? So the answer was negative 1/8. So we'll plug that in for x. Negative 1/8 minus 5/8 should equal negative 3/4. Right? Well, tell me this. What's negative 1/8 minus 5/8? What does that make? Negative 6/8. Yeah. And if you simplify 6/8, what do you get? Like, yep, 3/4. You got it. Yep. So that would be negative 3/4. So we've got negative 3/4 equals negative 3/4. Whoop. So that worked. The answer is x equals negative 1/8. That checks out. That solves the equation. So we are correct, right? Good.